I'm gonna go over how to use TinkerCAD real quick, because it's a little bit different than Fusion 360. Go up to the import button up here, and you can import a 3D file that you get. Um, can everyone hear me? It says my internet's unstable.
Yeah, you're good.
Can hear you.
Okay. So to import a file, you just click this button right here, and you can import any STL from Thingiverse or that you've made, and you don't have to convert it to a solid body. So if you wanted to do the same cut we did in Fusion last time, you can get one of these items under basic shapes, and they have like sort of a stripe pattern to them. So this is just like an object that's gonna cut through the other one. So we can place it down, and then to scale them, you just click on one of the four corners and move it. And then you can click on this top one to make it taller. So it'll cut through the whole object. And then you're gonna wanna move it in place to wherever you feel like it should go. Your hand, you can make it an oval or whatever, or you could do a square shape. And then if you wanted to cut this region out, you're gonna click on the hand and then hold down shift and click on the cylinder. And then that allows you to use this up here, which is called group. And when you group them together, it cuts out that area. So this is it's a simpler way to do the same thing that you did in Fusion, but it's not going to be as precise as Fusion 360. So if you wanted to make a quick mock-up, this would be fine. Or if the measurements don't really matter, this is also a good way to do it. So if you wanted to remove one of these fingers up here, you could just put a square down, and that would be a quick way to do that, instead of doing a whole sketch in Fusion and then extruding it and converting everything to solid or whatever. This is kind of a quicker way to do that. And you can do it a little bit in a cleaner fashion than I did. And then all you have to do is hit the export when you're done, and you can convert it to an STL and save it and then submit it, or load it into Fusion and do something else like scaling. So I'm going to do a quick scaling tutorial on Fusion as well. So here is a finger from the Phoenix hand. I've already converted it to a solid body. So if you want to measure between 2 points to see how much you need to scale it by, you're going to make sure you're under the solid tab and then go over to inspect. And then you can click on this measure button. And what you do now is you click 2 points for Fusion to measure between. So I'll click these two so you can see the width of the finger, and it'll come on the side and tell you the distance. And if it's giving you the wrong coordinate, you can have it show the X, Y, and Z, but it's not going to be more than 0 here because it's a flat distance. So the X distance is 60 millimeters. And so if you wanted it to be 70, you're going to want to scale it. So you need to find the scaling multiplier that you want to use. So if I wanted it to be 70, I would just do 70 over 60, which gives me 1.16. And when you're done measuring, you can just hit the close button. And then you're going to want to go up here to modify and then scale. And this allows you to click on a body to scale it. So if I click on the finger and put the scale factor I just calculated of 1.16, repeating, it's going to take its time, and then it's going to scale it for you. And then whenever it's done loading, you can say okay. And that has now scaled your piece to what you need it to be. So we can just check that real quick and go from point to point and see if it's 70 now. And the distance is now 70 millimeters. So you can do this to each part that you're trying to scale. There's not really a good way to scale every part at once, unless if you go into Cura and just scale everything by the same factor. But if you have special clearances like in the fingers, it might make the bending of the hand a little bit too like not smooth because there'll be too much friction. So you want to make sure you have the clearances right. So this is a good way to make sure that you're getting the right measurement for each joint. So that's basically all you have to do for scaling in Fusion. If there are any questions, you can ask me now, or you can email me or send them in Slack and I'll answer as well.